Oh, man. Okay. So I got my people in the building. We're here in the building with the Tim Black Wolf Pack in the house. What's up, Wolf Pack? What's up, Tobias? M City King, Ebony with the wrench. Give it up to my other. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Hold on. I got to welcome my third moderator, our latest moderator to the cast, the one and only Ebony with a wrench. Ebony, give it up for her, y'all. Man, I'm gonna have to get used to that. Oh man, y'all treat Ebony nice now. She's trying to get used to things. Don't give her a hard time. Just get in the cell. She put you in the lockup. Be like Otis on the Andy Griffith show. Let's get in the cell. Lock yourself in. Remember Otis? Oh, Andy. I'm ashamed of myself, Andy. What happened now? What happened, Otis? I got drunk again. Peed myself again, Andy. Well, get on in the cell, Otis. Jesus Christ, Otis. You weren't by the school naked again, were you? Not this time, just went. But I did go to the 5 and dime naked. I didn't go to the school this time. All right, Otis. You know where the keys are. Lock yourself up. Thanks, Andy. Yeah, man, if you want them trolls like that, man, just throw yourself in the jail, man. Don't make Ebony have to throw you in there. Just get on in there yourself. You know what you did. Man, yo, man. I appreciate y'all being here tonight, man. We got it going on. The Tim Black Show is brought to you by you. Yeah, you brought this show to you. You think somebody else put this show on? Come on, man. Be honest. Be real. Nah, man, this show is brought to you by you because it's not funded by the Democrats or the Republicans. Democrats, should they pay me to stop? I'm surprised no Democrats have offered me money to stop doing the show. It's going to happen, watch. At some point, one of the Chuck Schumer's friends, Chuck Schumer, or, I don't know, somebody gonna knock on the door. I speak to Tim Black. Speaking. We like to pay you money to stop. Stop going after the Democrats, please. So look, and if you're new to the show, my name is Tim Black. I'm your host. No one else would pretend to be that. I'm what you call a Democratic Party hater. Yeah, I'm what you call a Democratic Party hater, man. It's a learned skill. Took time to acquire it. But I'm real good at it at this point. Excellent. What the hell is going on here, man? Eating pork chops? I ain't no damn thing. What's that? Mrs. Black? She kissed me on the cheek. One kiss kissed me. I got my 6-year-old grandbaby. She put I say, what's that on your lip? You been eating chicken? When you're a 6-year-old little girl, man, you want lip gloss. Lip gloss is my baby. She put the lip gloss on. She like doing that, It's like, nah, you can't kiss him with that lip gloss. I don't have that on, Pop. It's like, okay, give me a kiss. She give me a kiss. Hey, got you, Pop. Hey, Nailani, how you doing, baby? Hey, Nadia, how you doing, baby? Can't say hi to one, not say hi to the other. That caused a major rift in the house. You don't know how it goes, man. It goes, boy. Then I got the 13-year-old, Naomi, and she like, every time I'm nice or we talking, joking, she's like, I'm your favorite, right? Like, I love you, baby, but I'm your favorite, right? I was here before the rest of these people. Shout out to you, Naomi, wherever you are. I know she with her sisters. She down south for a couple more days. Look, guys, I don't know. We just family here. We're just talking, man. Look, it's a show, but it's not. It's really just me talking smack about politics and the Democrats. And for some reason, man, I got the greatest support system, man. I got a great group of people that tune into this show. And thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. Before we go too far, man, I want to give a shout out to Walter Scott. Walter Scott Jr. to be exact. He is the founding member of the iconic R&B group The Whispers. He passed on June 26th. He was 81 years old. And reports said he died in Northridge, California, surrounded by his family and loved ones. And I meant to say this the other night, man. I guess it was a defense mechanism on my part, not wanting to think about it too much, because when I think about The Whispers, I think about my dad, you know? Yeah. When I think about The Whispers, I think about my dad. And there are many great songs The Whispers did. Now, they had some classic albums. I'm saying I'm a little young, but I'm not young, but I'm, younger than my dad, obviously. It's more his generation. And, we could argue about what's the best song that they put out, favorite song, Lady, Oliva. It's sad. That joint was sad, man. Lost and Turned Out. They had some great love songs, man. Great love songs. Lady, but the one that sticks with me, and I don't know why, man, this just sticks with me, is The Beat Goes On. And the reason why it hit me while I was prepping for the show is just before I went to air. And that's part of the reason why I'm wearing the glasses tonight, because I got to admit, it got a little something in my eye, Because I remember being about, I don't know, maybe 6, 7, something like that. And I remember being in my dad's Cutlass, Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. White joint. That joint was loud, man. Oh, man, we knew he was coming home. We could hear him turning into our complex. We lived in Prince George's County in an apartment complex called Surrey Square. And I could hear him all the way. Before you could see him, you could hear him. And I just remember being in that Cutlass Supreme and my dad playing, and the beat goes on, just like my love everlasting. And the beat goes on, still moving strong, on and on. And it's like, man, it just brings back somebody, when somebody's gotta lose, might as well get over the blues. There's always something new. Ooh. Cause we've been through stormy weather and the beat goes on. Ooh, I ain't gonna hurt y'all. Still moving strong. Yeah, beat goes on, beat goes on, beat goes on. I love you, Moose. I love you, man. Damn. Yeah, man. I feel a certain kind of way, man. The guy was like, one of the guys in the comment section was like, Tim, I don't know if I missed you saying it or not, man. Did you shout out Walter Scott, man? From The Whispers. And I'm like, man, bruh. Oh, man. It hurt me just commenting to us, responding to his comment. Because I miss my dad, man. But I'm going to tell y'all, man, the beat goes on. And I guess as long as I feel like I feel, as long as he's in my heart, as long as I remember him and love him and get that feeling like I'm feeling right now, I guess he's still here. So to the great Walter Scott Jr. in the iconic whispers, the beat goes on, brother. Thank you. Thank you for the soul. Thank you for the music. Thank you for the beat. Thank you for the smiles. Oh, and the mustaches too. Yes. Brothers had some mustaches, man. Woo, brothers had some mustaches, man. All right. Tonight's show is Wacky Wednesday. We got to cover a number of topics. Democrats gaslighting America. That's every day. You know what I'm saying? They do that every day. I got so many clips. I got a lot to get to tonight, man. I hope you guys are ready for it. DL Hugley, we got to do a wellness check on DL. We got to go get him. We got to go get DL. What else? Other stuff, man. Before I do that, last thing, man. Tim Black Show Legacy mug. Right here. How many people don't have a mug? Or how many people do have? I should say how many people do have one of my legacy mugs. All right, go to timblackmug.com. Get your legacy mug. It's $20. It's on the website, timblackmug.com. Order yours today. Also, anybody who wants advice, anybody who wants information, you know, I look back, man. I look back over the years and say, damn, you know, Tim Black, you've been doing this a long time. Been doing this since 2012, 2013. I've been in media, been in politics, interviewed some of the greatest people. Amazing. Done some things. I say, you know what? I got a lot of experience. You know what? Go to timblackconsulting.com if you would like to retain my services. The website is up. The options are there. There's a special going on, 25% off for Wolfpack members. Put Wolfpack25 as your code. Check your email. If you're on my mailing list, you would have gotten an email. If you're not on my mailing list, email me at tim@timblacktv.com and to get on my mailing list where you get special offers and other, you know, stuff. Yeah. timblackconsulting.com. Got a special going on right now. Some people have asked questions about Tim Black, how do you do this? How do you do that? What about this? What about that? You know, I have to put something together, but you know, we can have a 30-minute conversation. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that much. Yeah. I don't think I'm hurting you too bad. Plus with the 25% off, it's very reasonable. So go to timblackconsulting.com. That's one-on-one. That's just you and I on a Zoom having a conversation about whatever, and we're gonna do you right. It's very, very professional. You'll see when you get to the website. You guys ready for some content? I know I'm ready for some content. Jesus Christ. I want to get to the fun part. All right? Because the beat goes on, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. Let's start off with this.
The first verdict on count one, racketeering conspiracy. How do you find the defendant not guilty? And so now they'll move on to count two. Count two, how do you find the defendant not guilty? That is the sex trafficking of Cassandra Ventura. On count three, which is Mann Act transportation involving Cassie Ventura, guilty. Count four, sex trafficking of Jane, not guilty. Count five, Mann Act transportation of Jane, guilty. So mixed verdict here. Not guilty on 3 of the charges, guilty on 2 of the charges. Lisa, your reaction?
You know, as I look at these charges, man, I come to the conclusion that these people overcharged Puffy. Yeah, that's really what I come down to, man. They overcharged the guy. They threw the whole kitchen sink at him. And They did it on purpose. I feel they did it on purpose. I think they knew they weren't going to be able to get these charges to stick. This has all been, in my opinion, fam, this all been a runaround, a money grab. This has been bring him down, hurt his reputation, make a few dollars. Imagine all the money that's been made off this Diddy fiasco, this BS. So let me get this right. A year worth of trouble. You know how many movies were made, documentaries, books, tapes, appearances, all for basically for him to be convicted of bringing somebody in town, a prostitute, not making somebody become a prostitute, not stretching them out, getting them hooked on narcotics or nothing, not introducing them to the life of prostitution, not pimping, no, but bringing a prostitute from here to over there. There was already prostituting over here. Come on over here and prostitute. And you come from there and come over there to prostitute. That shouldn't even be a crime. That should not even be a crime. I argue that sex crime ain't a crime. Now, because sex crime happen every day. And it's not a crime. What I mean by that sex, I don't mean grapes. I mean this type of like consensual whatever people do, that should not be a crime. No more than doing other things in your private settings. Shouldn't be a crime if it's among consenting adults. Who knows why people do things? People do stuff all the time. Sometimes they do stuff because they want something. Sometimes they do stuff because they feel bad about something they did. Or who knows why people do what they do. But why should it matter if it's exchange of money or not? As long as it's legal. Or not forced. That's the word. As long as it's not forced. So that's why I come up on it. And I'm gonna leave it there for now. Because there's more.
With our breaking news, the judge in the Sean Diddy Combs trial has just rather shockingly denied him bail. This, of course, coming after the news that the jury convicted him of 2 of the lesser charges in the government's case against him, finding him not guilty of the 3 biggest and most consequential charges. Do we have Elizabeth Wagmeister yet? Okay, so let's get straight to CNN's Elizabeth Wagmeister, who's outside the court, along with Laura Coates. Laura, this is a surprising development. What are we learning? What are the judge's reasons for not letting him out?
Well, we are still learning all the reasons why the judge has denied bail to Sean Diddy Combs pending his sentence. Sean Combs denied bail. He's not coming out of that front door. What happened?
So the judge got on the bench, denied bail right away, and I had a literal front row seat with a clear view of Combs. His eyes widened, his mouth open. He looked at his attorney. He appeared to be in shock. I think they were in there thinking he was going to walk out that door today. But the judge said that there were no exceptional circumstances here, that all the reasons that Combs' team had cited were personal reasons, to be there for his family, for his kids, and it didn't overcome the bar and the congressional mandate in the law that says for someone who is convicted of a crime under this statute, under this title, had a mandatory detention. Now, his lawyer had argued that there was no other prostitution case. He even referenced Elliot Spitzer, who was not charged with any wrongdoing, but that company that had the prostitutes was convicted of some crime. And so he was saying that in that instance, where people had made money, those people were given bail, but the judge denied it after the prosecutors again argued, is what they said, that the only thing exceptional about Combs was his wealth, his violence, and his brazenness. And while the judge did hang on that violence, he said that Combs' team admitted that Combs was violent throughout this trial in the closing arguments. He even read back portions of this transcript to the parties, to Combs' lawyer, and he's saying that right now at this stage, not sentencing, but at this stage when it has to do with bail, the burden is on the defendant, and the defendant admitted he was violent, and so the judge couldn't get past that.
Times reporting here, caller from inside the.
Yeah, before we go any further, man, let me say that, I'm not saying that Puffy's a good guy and what he did was cool. What I'm saying is, I don't clap for brothers to go to jail, man, behind basically what add up to me as being a freak. You know, doing freaky stuff. Now, there's other stuff in there, like we saw the videotape of Casey or Cassie. We saw that tape. If he would have been there on trial for being abusive, for battery, for assault, yeah, they would have got him dead to rights. But I got a feeling statute of limitations is over on an ass kicking that happened 15, 20 years ago. At least 15 years ago. So yeah, that didn't put her in the hospital. It looked bad. It was horrible. He a bad guy for it. You know, if that was my sister, I'd be, you know, I'd have had more than words with him. But that was on tape, you know. What you gonna do? I mean, it happened. But once again, that has nothing to do with the case. Not this, not these charges they brought against him. They said he was human trafficking. Basically, they said he was running a cartel of human trafficking. And he wasn't. It appears, or they couldn't prove it. So now, I'm not one of those people that were making content after content, talking about how they're going to fry him and throw him in jail and throw away the key and yada, yada, and get what's coming to him. I wasn't doing all that. I wasn't doing any of that. Once again, what happened here is nothing to clap about for or against. But yeah, no, you know what? I'm glad he's not going to jail because I don't see that they proved their case. There you go. I don't know if he's guilty or innocent, but it doesn't seem like they proved their case. They spent all that money, and what they proved? What we already knew. Diddy is freaky. His reputation ruined. It's an embarrassment, but that's all they really proved, Johnson. That and he'll fly people in to do sex acts. So let's go to more common reactions. Like Megyn Kelly.
Courtroom, Sean Combs is smiling as he shook one of his lawyer's hands and turned again to look at his family. He put his hands together in prayer and mouthed, thank you at the jury. That's the right thing to say, Sean Combs. He pumped his right fist. Yep, this is exactly the right attitude for Sean Combs, who just got away with serious felonies, in my view. He's guilty as sin.
You know what's funny though about some of the conservatives? They like deciding if someone's good or bad or someone's evil. No, they like deciding if somebody should go to jail based on if they like them or not, or if they think that person is of good moral standing. But then when we bring up all the immoral shit Americans have done to Black Americans, all of a sudden they get amnesia. Yeah, see, like, you get what I'm saying? The hypocrisy. Like someone like Megyn Kelly is playing to her evangelical conservative base, right? And she's saying these things because there was some disgusting things that were said on that trial about Diddy. You know, things that, yeah, sordid, you know, icky stuff, right? You know? But there have been bad things done in society to Black Americans that Megyn Kelly would never own up to, would say we don't deserve shit for. But one individual Black guy doing something where he spent his money, it appears with consenting adults, oh my God, he's evil as sin and he should go to jail and justice must be served. So they really high on justice unless it's about us. Yeah, that's really serious. Justice is serious until it's time to pay the piper for Black Americans. Then it's like all of a sudden cat got their tongue. All of a sudden what happened before is in the past. All of a sudden, nothing to see here. No speaking English. Just something I want to point out. So on one hand, you got Megyn Kelly about to blow a tire in her Botox. And then on the other side, you got this. People outside the Diddy courthouse celebrating. Look like they're about to have a freak off right in front of the courthouse in celebration for Diddy's, verdict. Crazy, fam. He is hitting her with baby Johnson's Johnson.
Best friend.
Now, this guy's going to put it pretty well. Look what my man says here, these shirts. Check this out.
Split up for me and kind of explain why you're giving those out, what made you want to do that.
Honestly, the shirt is self-explanatory, right? So he's in here for doing this, right? But they're trying to make you think that he's in there for this. A freako is not a RICO. What you're doing in your own bedroom is not against the law.
And that's the story of the night, right? Or of the day, fam. What you do in your privacy in your own room, your own home, unless it's hurting someone, unless it's against people's will. I remember back when it's funny, I remember this. I was talking to Mrs. Black about it, and I had a feeling last night. I said, you know what, babe? I don't think they're going to get him. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get the heavy charges, because think about it like this. I mean, I have not watched a lot of reporting about the trial, but never once did I hear people saying they were held against their will, like they couldn't leave. Remember Rick James? Rick James and his girl, somebody had him tied under the bed or something for a week or something and couldn't leave or something like that. Like, there was no stories or testimony where Diddy was like holding people hostage. You know what I'm saying? Now, I heard about Kid cut his car. I heard about that, but I'm talking about, like, as regards to the case that they, what was being brought. So I say, I just got a feeling, man, it's not he's going to be free man at some point. Because I don't think they proved it. I just don't think that's what the evidence showed. That's not what I heard from all the testimony, what I was hearing secondhand. Once again, I haven't been listening like that. And last thing I say about it, fam, is we got enough brothers in jail. We the number one incarcerated country in the Western world and the number one incarcerated of black men. And I don't think we need another brother in there. And I think having another brother in jail is not going to change Hollywood or the music industry. Right? Now, whatever Puffy's doing, if it is illegal, I hope he learned today that he could go away forever, that he got a get out of jail free. He got lucky, I guess. I don't know how much time he's going to get because he was convicted. But first offense, it'll probably be something light. I think it's suspect to people that are saying they wish he got more time, they wish he got convicted of something more serious. Why would you wish that? Why would you want to wish that he was human trafficking? I don't wish that. I don't wish that was happening to anyone. I don't wish that was what he was doing, and I don't wish that was the reality, right? You just found out he wasn't. Isn't that good? But see, that's why I wonder, like, what are these people on, really? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are they really rooting for? You're supposed to root not to have that be the case. You're supposed to root that he wasn't taking advantage of people to that extent. You're supposed to root for that not be the case because you don't want that to be the case, right? That's how I look at it. But see, some people got different motives. My motives are just justice. I hope whatever's just happens for those victims. Cassandra Casey, she got, what was it, $20 million? She good. I think she good. We'll see what happens with the verdict, with the actual sentencing, how serious that is, how serious it isn't. Once again, man, Hollywood and the music industry are going to music industry and Hollywood just like they've been doing. And having one less black man there or having black man locked up, one guy, is not going to change the disgusting ways that people move with money and power and the disgusting things people do to get access to that, to get access to fame. That'll never change. I remember I had actor Bill Duke on the show back when Juicy Smollett was on trial for his antics. And Bill Duke, man, he said, man, Hollywood is driving you crazy. It makes some people do crazy things to get an opportunity. It'll eat you up and chew you out. And Ain't no love. If you want love, you better go be a florist or work with animals or something, because Hollywood don't love nobody. You fit a cast, you fit a role, and once you age out, they done with you. You think it was you, but you matched a character. You fit a mold. You're a commodity, and once you're no longer useful, on to the next. That's Hollywood. That's what they do, and I'm pretty sure the music industry is just as cutthroat, because it's 100 people standing behind you that can do what you do enough where they don't need you. So yeah, it's the industry, Johnson. It's the business. It's the world. It's what it is. It's everything. It's not just Puffy. It's not just Diddy, right? Last thing, and I'm going to end it here, fam. Don't fool your damn self. There's dastardly, horrible, horrific, degenerate shit going on right now as I speak. Probably on your street, on your block, in your building. Okay? And it'll be somebody who don't own a record company or record label. It'll be somebody who maybe manages a Arthur Treacher's or a KFC. I don't even think they got Arthur Treacher's no more, man. You know? A Wingstop or a Burger King, a McDonald's or something. You know what I'm saying? He hold that over somebody's head. And somebody's trying to get overtime. He like, you want some overtime? I might be able to put you on the schedule, you know what I'm saying? But, I mean, you got to act like you want to be put on the schedule. It's happening all the time. And I don't care if it's music industry, it could be the life insurance industry, Wall Street, banking, a doctor's office, an exologist, x-rayologist, an anesthesiologist. There's a teachers union. There's people taking advantage. The Plumbers Association. There's always, if there are people, am I making myself clear? If there are people, there are scumbags. And where there are scumbags, there will be people using their power to get what they want. And you think getting rid of Puffy gonna change that? It ain't. That being said, maybe the victims of any violence, anything, may you find peace. Because this system right here, man, this system is garbage. It is pure, utter garbage. All right, let's keep it moving, y'all. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below, man. Real talk, real talk, real talk. Welcome to the real world. It's ugly out there. Okay. Where are we at here, Tim Black?
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Hello to all new and existing members of the We Do Not Care Club. I started this club for all women going through perimenopause and menopause. We are putting the world on notice that we simply just do not care much anymore. Let's go ahead and get started with today's announcements. We do not care if there are 19 cars behind us in the drive-thru. We are checking every bag to be sure that we got our barbecue sauce, our ketchup, and our straw. And do not ask us to pull up. We do not care to excel at work. We will be meeting expectations. We do not care if we put on a pair of leggings in the morning with a graphic t-shirt. We are dressed for the day. We are ready for bed and possibly dressed for tomorrow at the same time. We do not care if our clothes are tight. They fit when we bought them. We do not care if the AC is on 62 and we have on 4 blankets. Don't touch that thermostat. We do not care that we just went grocery shopping and we are ordering takeout instead of cooking. We are tired. We do not care that we are not wearing makeup. If you don't think my bare face is cute enough, don't look at it. We do not care how you want your eggs. If one person wants them scrambled, We are all eating scrambled eggs. We do not care if you leave a voicemail. We're not going to check it. This has concluded today's announcements. All new and existing members, please be sure to put in the comments what we do not care about today so that we can go ahead and add them to our list. Thank you.
Next on...
Man, give it up for that sister, man. Damn, that was good. That's I love that. We do not care society. That's it. That's dope. That's dope. I gotta find her, man. She's on TikTok. I saw it on I think I saw it on YouTube though. No, I saw it on X or something. I don't know. Damn, she's good. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna put that out. It'll be a separate clip or something. I'm gonna find her. If you know who she is, shout her out, man. She's hilarious. Next. All right.
Deck with Tim Black.
CBS did nothing wrong here, but its parent company is paying the price anyway because of President Trump's highly unusual litigation strategy. This is now a playbook of sorts for the president because he won a settlement from Disney's ABC last December, also a settlement from Mark Zuckerberg's Meta, and now a settlement from Paramount Global. The interesting and unusual wrinkle here with Paramount, the parent of CBS, is that Paramount is trying to merge with a company called Skydance. And in order to merge, it needs Trump administration approval. That has led to widespread speculation that Paramount was willing to cut this settlement deal, in fact, eager to cut this deal, in order to get the Trump administration to bless the merger. Some Democratic lawmakers have used the word bribe to describe this. And one CBS correspondent said to me on condition of anonymity, everyone at 60 Minutes believes this is an act of extortion by the president. But let me show you the new statement we have from Trump's legal team, the way he is portraying this as a victory this morning, because I think it's really telling, Kate. Here's the statement obtained by CNN. Quote, with this record settlement, President Trump delivers another win for the American people as he, once again, holds the fake news media accountable for their wrongdoing and deceit. CBS and Paramount Global realized the strength of this historic case and had no choice but to settle. President Trump will always ensure that no one gets away with lying to the American people. So that statement is exactly why CBS News journalists did not want the parent company to settle. That statement is exactly what 60 Minutes correspondents feared would happen. Trump coming out and claiming victory, even though he actually had a very weak case. Legal experts told CNN it was frivolous and ridiculous. They said that CBS could easily win in court if it had chosen to go that route.
Next.
Yeah. You know, Brian Stelter is one of the people, one of my least liked people in media. Yeah, he's a sniveling, annoying, punchable face marshmallow man. You know what I'm saying? It's old, young, goofy. And look, and he's also, he hasn't read the room. Yeah, most of America don't give a shit if Paramount had to pay money. Yeah, we're not, the fact you're sitting up here caping for a network that you don't even work for. You know, all fit and bothered, you know, that they had to pay money. Who cares if they had to pay money? It's media. They lie, they sneak, they steal, they do all types of disgusting crap, and this just is coming back to bite them in the ass. Average American don't care if CBS or Paramount had to pay money. They overcharge you for their app anyway. One of their streaming services overcharged like hell. They just bought Showtime, right? Yeah. They had no problems. They had enough money to buy Showtime. At the end of the day, folks, I think that Brian Stelter and the rest of the people that are crying about this, they're just part of the system, you know? And I'm not saying, it doesn't mean Trump's, you know, like it doesn't mean he was right or wrong. It just means they settled. And they settled and they paid, okay? That's all it means. And if they ain't want to settle like you tell us, when we get jammed up, Stelter, why'd you plead guilty? Why'd you settle? You don't care. The rest of the world doesn't care when a poor black kid, 19 years old, gets a jacked up charge while he pleads out. You don't care. See, you got a charge here on your record here. No one cares. When the average American has a problem, no one cares. Well, guess what? We can keep that same energy when it's time for CBS's and the Paramounts of the world to pay their piper. We don't care. All right. Y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. I think I got other things to do than cry for a network.
On Deck with Tim Black.
In the state of Oregon.
Oregon. Leave it alone. Next.
Black.
American and white and human become synonyms. That why can't we just treat each other as human beings? To me, when I hear it from a white person, it means why can't we all just pretend to be white people? I'll pretend you're a white person, and then you can pretend to be white. Why don't you eat what I eat? Why don't you think like I do? Why don't you? You think that, hey, it'll all be fine when we just treat each other like human beings. And what that says to me is, don't be yourself. Be like me. Keep me comfortable. Connect where I'm ready to connect. Come out to my place. Or maybe I'll come down and get some artifacts from your place. That is bullshit.
Next.
It is bullshit. Give it up for that. Yeah, I experienced that. Yeah, I experienced that from the progressives. Yeah, the liberals. So they did, you know. As long as they were comfortable. Yeah. But here's the problem. At some point, you can't stick to the script. In your mind, you're going, you know what? This is easy street. I got all the advantages. I'm naturally talented. They weren't. None of the people that I was working with were naturally talented. None of them. None of them were. None of them had any it. Oh, come on. These guys were born progressives, but they had something I didn't have, and that was whiteness. And I had something they could never have, which is coolness, blackness, funniness, great timing. I had better timing than these corny white guys who have been doing comedy for 10, 15, 20 years. Just naturally good at it. It's in the soul. But the problem was, guys, and here's the thing, it would have been easy. You would think it would be easy just to shut up, take your money, fit in as much as you could. Just don't upset anybody. And that's what you got to do. Problem is, at some point it's going to come up and you're not going to be able to stick to that. Because something's going to happen. And then the real you is going to come out. And then it's all over. And then the talents come out. Then the knives come out. And then they come for you. Because you cannot maintain that without swallowing all your pride. There's going to be an incident that's going to occur, and you're going to come out the bag like you, and then they're going to all be shocked. They're all going to be offended. So, yeah, you can ride it. You can ride it for as long as it lasts, but it's never going to really last. Not if you're a real sister or a real brother, because at some point, there's going to be something that happens that's bigger than your money or bigger than your paycheck or bigger than whatever they're offering you. And if you're a good brother or good sister, you're going to have to choose to stand up. And that's when all falls down. I've lived it. I've experienced it. That's what happens. And I think that's really like getting to what happens to these brothers or sisters when the system turns on them or when the media turns on them. They have made that turn, that switch, where they're no longer playing the game. And then they become a threat. And then all the forces align against you when you become a threat. And you know who they send? They send people that look just like you, who want your spot. People that look just like you, who see an opportunity for themselves. All they got to do is help take you down. And then they get to become you. So they think. But do they really have the talent, the skills, the ability? Not really. But at the end of the day, they'll give them your spot because they feel that person's more trustworthy. They're going to go along. They're going to be quiet. They're going to shut up. They're going to do whatever they need to do. And that's how it goes. And that's the cycle that continues. It's a lot to it. It's a lot to it. I've seen it. And it's not just media. It's not just corporate America. It's everywhere, man. So I love this clip. And I wanted to share with you today just to demonstrate what we know. Those in the game, those who've been around, we know what it is. Also, when you get a chance, go back and look at the way the other people reacted. He was talking to the white guy. Look at the way the Asian brother was reacting. Look at the way the other guy was reacting. I don't know what the other guy was, but he wasn't Asian. He was something else. I couldn't tell. But look at the way they were reacting to the brother speaking that truth. And look at the unemotional white guy on the other end of it. It's something. There's a lot going on in that clip. I hope people take time to check it out. Just the dynamics of it. It's an older clip. I forget where the source came from. But it really shows the issues we have in America. It really does. With race, power. All right, guys, let's keep it moving here on the Tim Black Show. Hit the like button if this show makes sense. If, it helps the algorithm, it lets YouTube know that we have a show that's worth watching. So hit the like button or share it here on X. Next.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
To forget about him, but Ron DeSantis is still governor of Florida. He took the Comfy Couch hosts on a tour of the concentration camp that he's building in Florida in order to round up brown people, and throw them in a camp because he doesn't want them in Florida. Surprise, surprise, the economy of Florida is going to be severely harmed by rounding up brown people who, by the way, all over this country, Latinos are afraid to go to work. Anybody who is perceived or looks Latino is afraid to go to work. I know people who are...
Next on...
Notice how she said she switched it up to say anybody that looks Latino. So this is the new play, right? This is the new way they're trying to get us. First of all, shout out to Joy Reid. You are committed to the grift. Yeah, man, she left MSNBC, but she ain't left MSNBC. You know what I'm saying? She gonna be the person. She gonna dance with the devil that she came with. You know what I'm saying? That's what got her to the heights of the liberal gaslighting brigade. You know what I'm saying? That's how she got where she is. Gaslighting black people. She gonna keep on doing it. The trick is to try to scare black people into thinking that you next, black people. They coming for the Latinos. So next they gonna come get you. Because if you look Latino, they coming to get you too. Yeah, I know, Johnson, I know. Now jails are concentration camps. And I haven't seen yet a single person from the ADL come out and say, hey, man, stop using that language. Stop using that language. Stop calling jail concentration camps. People didn't leave the concentration camp, goofy. I mean, it's no lie they won't tell. It's no gaslighting they won't refuse to do. That's how you know they suck. If you want proof of how bad the Democrats are doing, just listen to their rhetoric. Like, DeSantis is not one of my favorite people. but he's building a jail, Johnson, with bunks in it. Like, that place that a lot of black and whites and poor black people, or Latinos, or all of American citizens are right in right now. Like 1 million people in jail right now under the same conditions in a similar facility that Joy Reid is describing as a concentration camp. This very moment. But she don't give a shit about that, nor was she talking gaslight about it. But let it be some people that are not citizens, some immigrants or migrants about to go to the same type of facility. Oh my God, everybody cancel Christmas. We got to cancel July because they going to get the same treatment. Oh my God. That's why I'm convinced that it's all about money, fam. It's all about the conveniences of people like Joy Reid, the rich 1%, making sure their lives don't change and making sure those corporations and donors get what they want, which is their pound of flesh, their peasants, so they can lower the cost of all labor, right, and get something basically for nothing. God forbid they have to pay regular costs, regular prices, have to pay people a decent wage to do those jobs. God forbid that have to happen. I was watching, there was something that I was watching where they were showing how, I think it's the meatpacking industry. Yeah, the meatpacking industry. Do you realize the price of a steak has nothing to do with how much you're paying the person that packs it? That's nothing. That's not what the cost is in steaks. You can double or triple the cost of the hourly wage that a person is doing the butchering, and it would not affect cost. It would go up maybe 2%, because the cost is in the raising of the cattle and the transportation of it, not the actual person that's processing the meat. So the person like Joy Reid is just gaslighting about what her donors wanted to gaslight about. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, man. This whole thing that the price of these goods are going to go up, and now it's going to, maybe they could just lower the costs that they pay themselves, lower the cost of dividends that they pay out to the Wall Street, lower the salaries of the execs, and then keep the prices the same. They could choose to do that. That could happen, Joy. You could be every day championing for corporations to pay honest wages so Americans could work those jobs. You could do that. But we know you ain't gonna do nothing that stupid. Nah, because then what happens? Then you lose your cushy job. Then all of a sudden, Joy Reid won't have a place to go. Because then Joy Reid will start sounding like Tim Black, saying the truth and not worried about what job you're going to get. If you're going to get another multi-million-dollar a year position. Because that's really what we're talking about. Ron DeSantis is not setting up concentration camps. I don't like Ron DeSantis. He's not one of my favorite people. But stop lying. Stop trying to scare people. Concentration camps had a very specific function. Okay? A very specific utility. And that ain't what's going on. We got some horrific jails across this country where poor people, particularly black poor people, are housed that have horrible conditions. And I don't hear you ever talk about them. All right, guys. It's what the Democrats do, man. They're horrific. One thing about Joy Reid, the only thing I will credit her is her consistency. She is a consistent liar and gaslighter. That's what she is. And she gonna stay on script. No matter where she goes, whether she's working for MSNBC or working for herself. You can take the gaslighter out of MSNBC, but you ain't taking the gaslighter out of Joy Reid. All right, guys, let's keep it going. Oh, Tim, you're just picking on Joy. Joy is a hack. She just proved it. Then she tried to throw in black people. Because if you look like you Hispanic, it should be you too. Yeah, so they see who you are. Yeah.
Deck with Tim Black.
By thanking our ICE officers and our Border Patrol officers for what they do every day. They are out on the streets, and violence against them has increased over 500% since Trump has gone back into the White House, because he's upholding the law and because a bunch of liberals, socialists, and Marxists are out there lying about what President Trump is doing.
You know, I was watching this clip and I was just listening to a regular clip there at first. You know, once again, Kristi Noem, not one of my favorite people. Not at all. But I wanted to listen to what she was talking about. And this thing's going to take a turn, fam. Just hold on. You don't want to miss this.
President Trump is upholding freedom by what he is doing. The freedom to live safely in this country and to do things legally and to have justice. And because those liberals, and I'm calling out you, CNN, I'm calling you out because you lie every single day about what these operations are. We are going after murderers and rapists and traffickers and drug dealers and getting them off the streets and getting them out of this country because Joe Biden let the worst of the worst come in here. The other day I was talking to some marshals that have been partnering with ICE. They said that they had detained a cannibal and put him on a plane to take him home. And while they had him in his seat, he started to eat himself. And they had to get him off and get him medical attention. These are the kind of deranged individuals that are on our streets in America that we're trying to target and get out of our country because they are so deranged they don't belong here. And
she said cannibal. I started envisioning like this on the plane. You got a guy sitting there, he's being transported. And instead of, he he's being transported back home, so he starts to eat on his own flesh. To the point they had to take him to the hospital. They had to land a plane and take this guy to the hospital. Now, I'm all for us deporting people. These people got to go. Okay, you got to go. You ain't here illegal, got to go, come back in the right way. But I would like to hear his story out. Yeah, like, whatever his asylum claim is, we need to listen to his claim, because I heard of people being committed to the grift. I don't know nobody that could grift that hard. I mean, this is a commitment to the grift that's beyond anything I've ever heard. I don't think he was a cannibal until that day. Like, he wasn't they call him a cannibal because he was trying to, obviously, the guy's trying to delay deportation. It's what he's trying to do. And all I'm saying is, I don't know how bad it is wherever he's from that he would do that to himself to just delay, because that ain't canceling it. But I'm just saying, maybe you should listen to this guy's story. You know, yeah, man, I mean, come on. This guy's, I mean, at least hear him out, because person eating themselves might need to, might be serious about what's waiting for him back at home. Can't be good. I know it's going to piss off some people, but I'm just saying, man, I never heard no story like this. I mean, what if it's like, what if you're a teacher in a class and you got a student and you're like, okay, guys, it's time for everybody to go home, and the student's like, won't get out this seat. Like, hey, it's time to go home. School's over for the day. You're like, no, I don't want to go home. You got to leave. No. And then they start eating themselves. Well, I'm just saying, I mean, you got to call a nurse, got to do something, something's going on. And that, to me, that means something's happening at home. Maybe we should take a listen to that. I don't know, Dr. Abdullah, Musa Abdullah, All Things Education Official on YouTube. He come on the channel, and I'm sure he teaches kids, been teaching kids the last 20, 25 years. I'm pretty sure if he had a student that started to eat themselves, they look into the family, make sure everything was okay. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I'm not without feelings at all. I'm a hard ass, I'm tough, but Guy starts to eat himself. Christy Noam act like it was nothing, like, hey, this guy's an animal. Well, no, maybe he's afraid. Obviously, there's something, I don't know. That's enough. I'm just saying, I mean, ate himself? Either that or the drugs are really good. And that's the only thing else I could think of. What kind of drug was he on? All right. All right, guys, let me know what you think about this story. It's crazy. It's crazy. Next. That wasn't on your bingo card, was it?
They shouldn't be walking the streets with our children, and they shouldn't be living in the community.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
And I don't say this lightly, but our country needs to be sanctioned. We are the bad guys on the world stage. We are a menace to not only free people everywhere, but we are a menace to peaceful people everywhere at this point. And I'm not even going to say that we've only been a menace for the past 3 or 4 months, right? Like, when does the international community decide that enough is enough? I know we're rich. I know we've got a lot of money. I know that people want to buy things from our country because we're rich, or want to sell things to our country because we're rich. But at some point, the international community has to stand up to us because we are a bad guy on the world stage, right? And so we should be sanctioned. We should be sanctioned and rebuked.
Next on
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector. Black.
Yeah, Elie Mystal is one of my least favorite people, man. Yeah, man, he's one of my least favorite people. I want to use, like, I hope that's not too strong, but yeah, that's the way to put it. One of my least favorite people, man. Yeah, Elie Mystal. It's convenient that you decided America should be sanctioned, should be brought to court now. Yeah, now. These last few months have just been diabolical. You notice he had his same complaints. 4 years. 4 years of Biden. No complaints. Bombing countries. Funding wars, trying to topple regimes. Silent Mystal. Silent, go on MSNBC and still talk about Trump every day. And then soon as Trump becomes president, all of a sudden America's doomed. All of a sudden we need to go to jail. All of a sudden we so bad the world needs to step in. Elie Mystal's been talking. He's been a person in power. He's been a person, in media. He's been in media for at least 20 years. That means he was in media when Obama was dropping all them bombs. When Obama set the record of number of bombs dropped in 1 year. 26,000 bombs. You think Elie was saying we need to be stopped? Oh no, America needs to be stopped. Lock us up. We're no good. We're bad for the world. Nothing out of Elie. Because it was a Democrat. And that's my problem with the Democrats, man. They only cry wolf when the wolf is red. But if the wolf is blue, nothing to do. Just as happy, just as calm, just as tranquil. He's sitting on his grill frying up burgers with his kids. His stupid hairdo. His dumb glasses. Them flip-flops with the thong toe in them. Goofy self. What I'm saying, man, is it's really horrific how they do. And no one calls them out. No one pushes back. And if you do, then I got people like Van Lathan and Bakari Sellers, these other saps. Oh, don't do that. This guy, you're just trying to make a few dollars. You're just going in on brothers and sisters. Nah, man. Look, man. The reason why I'm going in on Elie is not because he's a brother. It's because he's not a brother with any ethics, right? And he says dumb things very loudly. And someone's got to call it out. And plus, I told you, I'm a Democratic Party hater. I've been straight up and honest about where I'm coming from. Ted Cruz is horrible. He's horrible, 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 terrible, terrible. Can't stand Ted Cruz. You know what? Ted Cruz don't come across my timeline like Elie Mystal does. I'm subjected to the Elie Mystal's gaslighting and nonsense. So when I feel like I want to call him out, I'm going to call him out. Elie Mystal is a hack. All this Trump is evil, it's the end of the world shit only serves the Democratic Party. And it's my job. I've assumed the position of trying to wake black people the hell up and get away from the Democrats. We got to do it, Johnson. We got to become independent. Not Republicans, independent. So we can look at a person like Elie Mystal and say, hey, man, what have we done in the last 5 months that we wasn't doing the previous four and a half years? What the hell could we possibly have been doing the last 4 months that we weren't doing 4 years ago? Like, we got to start thinking. These people like Elie Mystal and Joy Reid, they don't mean us any good, Johnson. And as long as we got Americans that think that the only time America needs to get this shit right, the only time America needs to stop bombing or stop overstepping or stop trying to police the world or stop selling bombs to everybody, stop being a manipulator. The only time we need to do that is when Trump's in office. Then we ain't gonna ever change anything. Because they don't, Elie Mystal doesn't really care about peace. He doesn't really care about us doing the right thing. Because if he cared, he'd be saying it all the time, no matter who's in office. All right. Lord have mercy. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Is Elie Mystal full of it or is he full of it? Trick question. Now I want to go to another segment, man. I've been listening to a couple of comedians. And it's difficult, man. Like we have some of the worst environments for comedians. Now I guess when you're unheard of and nobody like really knows who you are, I guess you get to be honest, you know? But once you make a couple of dollars, you want to go up the ladder. Well, that's when you gotta, I guess if you want to really succeed, if you keep going, the further you go up, the more compromised you got to become in order to still be able to work, I guess. I don't know. That's what I tell myself. That's got to be the reason why. I mean, I see stuff like this. I'm a big-time Bill Burr fan. And it bothers me, man, when I hear him towing the line for the Democrats, man, because they don't mean that's no good. They're not good, Bill. Case in point. Here goes the Bill Burr clip. He was on somebody's podcast.
Hello to our new take.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
What's your take? When they get rid of all the illegals in this country, white billionaires will then magically become generous and start paying people a living wage.
You know, when I saw this, immediately I zoned in on his language. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? When he said white billionaires, I said, oh, here we go. Yeah, I'm quick on the uptake, man. When he said white billionaires, like you really don't need to preference billionaire with white. We know. And we got like, what, 3 black billionaires in the country, something like that? I don't know. It's not a lot. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong. It could be like 4 or 5. It's less than 10, right? I don't know. But just the fact he was like, you got white billionaires and then you got the white billionaire. It's like, come on, Bill. I knew this was going to go downhill when I saw that.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
What's your take? When they get rid of all the illegals in this country, white billionaires will then magically become generous and start paying people a living wage because they inadvertently got rid of their excuse as to why they're not paying people.
100% disagree.
Okay.
Why would they all of a sudden start paying?
Because it's the illegal aliens' fault. That's why.
So what's the problem?
They need to come to this country the right way, the way my people came here.
On a boat?
Yeah, that's the way you do it.
You're pilgrim-blooded, right?
I think, yeah, you go back a couple generations. Yeah, my people had a belt buckle right on the front of their hat.
Turkey Boys, Thanksgiving Boys.
That was the name of their gang. They were the Turkey Boys, yeah.
Some of your jokes are about how everyone is mad at everyone else. And no one's mad at the right people.
Yeah, they have states hating other states. People in red states don't like California. People in California don't like Texas. Somewhere along the line we missed that it's the United States. And that we're all on the same team. And these psychos at the top, they just get everybody all stirred up. This guy's causing riots in American cities. And, you know, there's people trying to get to their apartments and they're getting shot with rubber bullets. And we are so divided because of CNN and Fox News that as long as the bullets are going at the countrymen that are wearing the wrong tie, you somehow don't view them as on your team anymore. And it's a really dangerous time. I have faith, though, that through things like this and social media, you know, because you've seen it's brought down regimes around, you know, the world, that we can get on the same page. But one of the things I hate the most, people who write things like, I will never forgive people that voted for Trump. And it's just like, well, now you just caused division.
Yeah.
You want to bring them over. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you also just voted for a guy that should have been in a home. You know, he's on his back porch talking to himself.
I saw a great tweet the other day that said, I wish Joe Biden was alive to see this.
I saw a funny t-shirt. This guy walked around and said, is he dead yet?
You know, man, like I said, I'm a Bill Burr fan, man, and it's not all bad, and he has some good digs. It's just, I don't know, man. It bothers me when people talk about the immigration situation as if the only solution is let everybody come to America and step over black people. Yeah, so to bring everybody in. Forget the black people. And we don't care. I mean, I've been telling people there's a reason why I won't let the issue go. Right? I won't let it go. We should hold corporations accountable. Hold them accountable. You don't think it's holding them accountable if you make it so they can't outsource all our jobs to other countries? You don't think that's holding them accountable? They would rather do that if they could. We got to force them to do the right thing. It's not going to be automatic, but we ain't helping. You're not helping black Americans by saying open up the floodgates, let everybody in. Knowing how racist America is, to hire anything closer to white than us. Right? So that's what happens, Bill. I know you don't care. You know, because you're a rich guy now. You're not worried about that. But we got to worry about it. So it bothers me, man, that they keep. He don't have to talk about that. He can talk about anything. He doesn't have to talk about it. He don't want to be bold and step out there and say, hey, but, you know, the things that happen on these jobs, in these industries, telling Americans you can't hire them because they don't speak Spanish. You don't think that's a problem, Bill? Yeah, that's a bit. That's a bit. That's funny, right? Could be funny. Won't you make that funny? Because it doesn't fit the politics that you need to have in order to get the money, right? It's not funny in the way they want it to be funny. Yeah, you know, yeah, go after Trump, go after Obama, go after Biden, go after Hillary, and he has. But lately it just feels like, oh, Billy red raincoat. I don't know, Billy raincoat and Dockers. I don't know. It's like he's lost a step. It's like the more his money went up, the more he's like, oh man, gotta keep the money. And he's like trying not to offend. I don't know. That's how it seems. Let me know if I'm wrong, man. I could be wrong. It just seems like the guy's going out of his way to dance with the Democrats. And the Democrats are horrible, man. They're just as horrible, if not more. To me, they're more horrible than the Republicans because the Democrats are lying to black people, and I got a problem with that. I got a problem with them saying, look, you can Ketanji Brown Jackson. And she can't even tell me what a woman is. And that's a problem because that means she's just buying into the Democrat bullshit. That's what that means. I got to get called misogynist and have people question me if I love black women because I didn't vote for an Asian Indian woman who locked up black people. And somehow the conversation becomes, why don't you love black women? That's a bit. That's crazy. That's really what's happening. But Bill can't make a joke about that and working comedy at a high level or working Hollywood like he's been working. That's the thing, man. Yeah, I like the Biden jokes, though. I like the Biden as he did get joke. That's funny. Morbid, mean, but funny. All right, guys, let's keep it moving. Oh, man. For my last segment tonight, guys, put your lighters. Everybody put their lighters out. Bring your lighters out. Got to all come together. We got to figure something out, man. I think we need to stage an intervention on D.L. Hugley. Yeah, man, since Kamala lost, the guy it's been months and he still hasn't rebounded. I think he's in denial. He hasn't made peace with the fact that Kamala is not the president. I just don't think because he used to brag about he was hanging out with her and talking to Joe, talking to Kamala. And now he doesn't get to do that, and I just think he just lost something. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Check it out. Tell me if I'm wrong. I can accept it. Am I wrong?
Next on deck with Tim Black.
A lot of people thought it was a good idea to just start rounding up illegal immigrants. You know, they're in the country illegally. A lot of people say we shouldn't have, and if you're in the country illegally, you shouldn't be here, and anybody who isn't here should go. The side effect of that.
Well, stop right there, guys. Just the sheer idea, man. The sheer idea he would say that. You know? Somebody came up with a bright idea that we should start rounding up people that shouldn't be here. You know, man, I've been doing studies on this, man. Other countries like Canada are stricter than we are. Yeah. You would think we must be like draconian, like we're from the dark ages with our foreign policy or our immigration policy. Must be horrific, right? Yeah, try going to Germany with this shit. Try going to Russia or go to Canada, totally, or Mexico. You know who's more strict? Mexico is. Problem is, we got people like D.L. Hugley. They're like other people to cut his line. That's what this is all about. The guy starts off and says, oh my God, we gotta remove people that are illegal. As if, like you wouldn't say that about anybody else breaking the law. It's a thing these people got about immigrants, man. Undocumented or illegal immigrants. It's just something about it. I mean, he would never say, oh my God, we rounded up illegal drug dealers. You'd be like, yeah, that's what cops do. Oh, we're locking up the people selling guns illegally. You'd be like, oh yeah, that's what we do. But we're gonna round up people that are illegally in the country. Oh no, don't do that. Why not? They're illegal, right? See what I'm saying? It's like crazy talk. But it's a part of this. It's part of the sickness. I think DL's sick, man. The brother's sick.
The unintended consequences of that is that now there's going to be a direct impact on not just our economy, but in the way we live our lives. Like one of the things that is happening now, the people who take care of the elderly are not there anymore. The people who build our structures are not there anymore. The people who pick and produce our food are not there anymore. Good idea.
See, everybody went to the Jasmine Crockett school of, all the Latinos do is pick food. All they do is go out there into the fields and be picking cotton. Oh, all the Latinos do, they come over here and they go to the fields and they move the bedpans and they make a bed at the hotel. It's the most racist shit in the world, man. You know, there are people that come to this country, undocumented, who do all kinds of jobs. There are people that overstay their visas. Yeah, there are people that speak the language just fine. They work here. They've been here. They were supposed to go years ago. Some of them decades ago. They own businesses, trucking businesses. They work construction. They work in landscaping. They work in they handyman. They do drywall. They build building. They do plumbing, electrician. A lot of shit. A lot of things. They work in plants, manufacturing plants, food processing plants. Everybody doesn't pick crops. Man, to me, D.L. Hugley and Jasmine Crockett, these people, they sound like some racists. They worse than racist elite white people. And it's also, and the worst thing is, it's damaging to their cousins. They're damaging. They don't want to support their entire bloodline, give them all jobs and pay their way, but they're fine with, as long as their lives are comfortable, they ain't got to do shit. They're fine with their cousins and their, distant relatives not being able to find work, or their wages being suppressed because they're in the industry. If they could stay in that industry, with people that are willing to take half as much and do twice as much work. Bernie Mac talked about it. Bernie used to talk about it. I'll tell you, man, something wrong with DL, man. He's an elitist and he's crazy. How are you going to be both things?
Seemed like a good idea. Everybody was for it. They thought it was a great thing. They thought this half-hearted, cruel, slipshod approach would be okay. Now you have empty fields, people leaving old people, our elderly, to themselves. Nothing is being built, and there's a real-life consequence to that. And I suspect pretty soon there's going to be food shortages, obviously, a slowdown in building, obviously, the potential jeopardy of our elderly, possibly. All of these seem like good ideas, seem like a great idea. All these guys came up with this great idea. They could know, but what's the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen, I suspect, just like those trees, this explosion of pollen, everybody having allergies.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
You know what's hilarious about D.L. Hugley? That is jokes. It's hilarious that he's new to this thing, new to this being upset about people getting deported thing when, Obama, he brags about Obama all the time, and Obama was a deporter in chief. And you guess what? DL didn't say a mumbling word about deportations under Obama. Obama was setting records. He was killing it, literally. And DL was quiet. You know who was putting babies in cages way before Trump? Obama. In fact, the cages they used were left over from Obama. And you know what DL said? Nothing. DL went and wrote a book that gave Obama nothing but praise. Nothing but praise. Once again, all Democrats do is complain about shit they do when someone else does it. That's it. Hey, I think something wrong with DL. Somebody need to come see about him. Somebody give him some help. The brother is gone. He has not gotten over the fact Kamala lost. I'm telling you. All right, I got more. The man, his brain is over. It's done. Case in point, listen to this.
So every week, I'd say for the last few weeks, few months, I'd say, I have done a feature on TMZ. I talked to Harvey and Charles about any number of things. This week was no exception. It was a little unusual in that someone who I'd never spoken to before, who I'd never had a conversation with before, happened to kind of just hop in on the conversation. Now, this is a man I don't know. I don't have any idea who he was. Later on, I would find out that he was a producer of sports on TMZ. And to me, when you're a producer, you know not to just break in on somebody else's program unless it was.
Oh, DL's upset that other people were talking on the show that's not his. Funny.
Deliberate. He is obviously a Trump supporter. And what I do is I try not to waste my time speaking to them. I think that the moral gymnastics they got to do to justify the things that they do. I think the lack of empathy. I think the cultish allegiance is all too much for me. And there's nothing I would be able to say to them that their churches or families or school mates or anybody else has tried to convince them of that I'm going to be able to.
DL got upset because the guy plucked his nerves. DL couldn't handle it. He's not used to people talking back. He's used to just talking and saying, making up a bunch of shit, using a few big words that he mispronounces. And people going, he's so articulate. He's amazing. Keep talking, DL. Keep talking, DL.
I will not say his name because he got about 3,800 followers on Instagram. And I'd be damned he gonna get to 4,000 because of something I said.
Oh, look at DL. He remembers the number of followers this guy has. It doesn't matter because he got your goat. He may not have a lot of followers, but he got your goat on TMZ.
But the conversation started with Harvey and Charles asking me about Donald Trump and his potential of winning the Nobel Peace Prize because of his actions in what's going on with Israel and Iran.
You forgot about Congo and Rwanda. That was good too, DL. Be hard to gloss over that one too, right? I mean, watch the lengths that DL will go. The man is sick, I'm telling you.
I pointed out that I thought it would be like awarding an arsonist. He started the fire, and then he wants credit for putting it out. I think that Donald Trump does things.
He started the fire. Are you trying to say, he's saying that Trump started Israel and Palestinian, which is basically a genocide, like, and that's been going on for what, 70 years? I mean, Trump is a bad guy, right? Like, he did some questionable things, but he didn't start that. He didn't move Israel in. No, he didn't do that. Keep going, DL.
For one of 4 reasons. One, because either he gets enriching from it financially or self-aggrandizement, he gets revenge, or he gets to exact his racist mentality on other people. That's 3 things. I think that
that's all DL does is call people racist. And some reason he thinks that's winning. But it's not. They ain't got anything to do with it. What does that got to do with, remember, the whole thing was Trump wanted Israel and Palestine to stop fighting. That's it.
Those are always his. Very rarely is it just that somebody else is going to, that he does it for the benefit of the country.
Something wrong with this man. I told y'all something wrong with this man. My rule is I don't care why somebody does something good. It doesn't matter. Somebody gave me $1 million. I wouldn't care why they gave it to me. Any strings attached? Maybe they gave it to me because they mistreated somebody black a long time ago or whatever. Maybe they ran over a puppy. I don't know why they did it. Maybe they did it just to say, let's see what he does with it. We got a bet going on, Bartholomew. Like in Trading Places. I don't got time to figure out why people do what they do. What I care about is what they do. I care about the actions that they take and what will be the effect of those actions. You can't be in somebody's mind. That's why I'm saying something wrong with DL. DL's brain is broke.
At this point, this young man jumped in and started asking me questions. I'd never seen him before. I'd never talked to him before. I was basically ambushed, and it got heated. and it got heated because
No, if you're running your mouth and somebody asks you a question, you should be able to answer it. If you're talking about something and somebody asks you a question about that subject, it's not like he came in and asked you a different topic, right? I would understand, look, guys, I would understand if you got into an argument with somebody, or if you were talking to somebody about something totally different, and somebody came in with a different topic, off topic, and they asked you about it. Yeah, that would be like, what are you talking about, man? I'm having this conversation. See your way out. We're not talking about that. But if you are talking about a particular topic, and somebody else hears you talking about it and say, hey, man, y'all talking about a topic, this topic, I know about this topic. What you're saying isn't true. You should be able to respond to that because that's what you're talking about. Right? Something's wrong with DL, man. Something wrong with the man. It's basic. He showed DL didn't know what DL was talking about.
because I am tired of beta white dudes like that trying to tell you what weakness is.
You sound like Tiffany Cross and Angela Rye. That's one of those responses. I'm tired of these white men telling me what about. Nah, beat them with the words. Prove your point. Make your point. Don't make it about them being white, you being black. You were talking about Trump and Israel and Gaza, right? This white guy asking you about it, it's got nothing to do with him being white. The issue is about Israel, Palestine, and Trump. And Trump was mad, right? Isn't that what it's about? Oh, it's about Israel and Iran. It's about Israel and Iran. That's right, Israel and Iran. DL here don't care about Palestinians. It's about Israel and Iran. I'm sorry, guys. That's what the conversation was about. That's what Trump wanted to ceasefire. He wanted them to stop fighting. That's just as bad. That's just as bad. Right? Trump wants that to end. How can you make him a bad guy for wanting that to end? How does that why is Trump the villain in this? Israel jumped this off, right? DL's a coward. He won't say that. He won't blame Trump instead.
One of the things that's blatantly, when you talk to any Trump supporter almost all the time, the allowances that they have to make, the hypocrisy is always so blatant. Like for a young man like...
Why does he change the subject? We're talking about Israel and Iran, right? Right. Because we was looking like we might end up going to World War III, right? Right? So that's what this was about. Why he switch the subject back to this kid who don't have any followers on Instagram? As if we give a shit how many followers he has on Instagram. We're talking about war right here, right?
Like that to go, well, you know, getting angry and emotional is a sign of weakness. Is it? Is it when the president of the United States of America gets mad and cusses because Israel and Iran aren't doing what he wants them to do?
Yeah. He should. It's okay to cuss about that because he's trying, because the object is to get peace. And Bibi said they was going to go for the peace, right? And then it's like he reneged and started dropping more bombs after he thought they had an agreement. And I guess the natural reaction to that is, what the F is going on? That's different than you cussing at this person on TMZ because they don't agree with you.
Or cusses at a reporter because they asked him a question. Or Headspith, who's in charge of our military, cusses at somebody because they asked him a question he didn't like. Or how J.D. Vance, another man who of the MAGA stripe, gets upset and shows emotion. So is it only when somebody that you disagree with does it? Or is it everybody? That's the thing about being a MAGA. You have to make these allowances that are so glaringly, well, Joe Biden had dementia. Well, he wasn't a rapist. So I'd rather take the dude with dementia than the rapist. So we can make these allowances.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
You know, shout out to DL Hugley, man. It's obvious that DL Hugley is touched. Yeah, man, it's obvious he's touched. And he doesn't have much of a backbone. And the E. Jean Carroll smear from 1990, where Trump was not convicted of rape, but you keep saying that, it gets old, man. You say that often. You're lucky he doesn't sue you for it. But here's the thing, though, DL. Biden was a walking corpse. He was. And you were fine with him being president because he wasn't Trump. Because your friend, your love crush, Kamala Harris, who's already got a husband, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that. Maybe you need to be reminded. Yeah, man. You know, she's not going to be president. She sucked. She's horrible at campaigning. She's horrible at politicking. Not a good politician. Just not. DL, she just isn't a good politician. And I feel bad for you, man. But you know what's consistent with you? Like, I remember Bernie Mac. I remember you were crying at the funeral of Bernie Mac. And at the time, I didn't know how horrible Steve Harvey was treating Bernie Mac. Did he try to stab Bernie Mac in the back? And I also noticed, and I also don't recall you standing up for Bernie Mac. I remember you crying about Bernie Mac, but not standing up and telling the world how horrible Steve Harvey was. Like, Steve Harvey did some scumbag shit. But you play ball. You kept it G-ish, I guess, if being a G means you stab one friend in the back for the other friend. I don't know. It just seems weird. You go on and on about things about Trump, and it's like, even when it's not applicable. You know, we're talking about Iran, we're talking about Israel. Yeah, man, that shit in, bro. That war shit in, man. And the fact that you want to make it about Hegseth or make it about J.D. Vance said, dropped an F-bomb. These things, man, I think you're suffering a mental break. Yeah, man, you're suffering a mental break, man. And too many people have not had the courage to tell you, DL, man, you got personal problems, man. You got a problem. You got Trump deranged syndrome level 562. And there is no 563. I think after this, your brain will just explode. And you got kids, and I'm sure people love you. So I want to just say, man, it's important that you seek help. You get the type of help that you need, DL Hugley. You stop listening to your friends that are obviously afraid to tell you that you are batshit crazy, that you don't make sense, that you are gaslighting on things that are just not a winning situation. And I wish I could play the TMZ, but TMZ does not allow us to play their clips. But that display that you melting down on the dude, and now you try to make it about race. Nah, man, he asked you questions that you couldn't answer. And all you could do was smear Trump and throw a bunch of stuff against the wall. It was almost like you were defending a war. It was like you were defending Israel to keep bombing Iran just to spite Trump, because Trump might get credit if they stopped. Which is that's the thing of stupid. Like, really, that's a level of the stupid that I don't even think that you were capable of. But you exceeded expectations. Your level of Trump derangement syndrome, man, is at dangerous high levels. There should be somebody with a couple guys in white outfits and white gloves that should come grab you and take you to a rubber room. Get you the type of mental help that you need. Because this thing with Kamala Harris, man, this has damaged you. Go back, start telling jokes. Don't talk politics no more. There's so much other shit going on that you could talk about. Yeah, man, get back to your roots. Talk about your kids, the wash rag on the nightstand. Remember that joke? The wash rag, rinse around and rinse it off. Remember that? Don't touch that. Don't get that rag off the nightstand. Don't get that back. You know, talk about your mother beating you with a switch. Remember them jokes? Them funny jokes you used to tell. It's kind of hacky black stuff about roaches and a potato salad or something. Remember you? Get back to BDODL. Yeah. He wasn't that funny, but he wasn't garbage. Not like this. It's exhausting. All right, guys, that's all I got. Thank you for being here on the Tim Black Show. I appreciate y'all. Man, somebody come get DL. Come get him. He ain't gonna make it. Now let's go to the comment section, y'all. How many followers does he have? I don't know, man. Probably more now. Dio won't call out men and women's sports. No, he won't. He is a coward, man. His back. He wouldn't call out George Lopez as his friend. George Lopez had a segment I saw where he was chastising his daughter on the show for dating a black guy. Don't you bring no black boy home, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not saying you're supposed to say anything, but there was fertile ground right there. I mean, Lopez put that in his show. That was in his bit. Talking about black people. Talking about how really Mexicans feel about black people. The culture is anti-black. Meanwhile, we got DL doing everything he can to ride for Mexicans as if them being in America legally is such a high bar they could never surpass. But there are a lot of Mexicans, Cubans, Venezuelans that are Americans who went through a process, who serve in our military, who work in our country, who are our countrymen. They are Americans. DL talk as if it's an unsurmountable, it's like climbing Mount Everest to go through the process. I know the process sucks, I hear, but it ain't impossible. DL just got no backbone, man. He just says whatever, he just says whatever is what the Democrats want him to say. It's just a pathetic thing. Thank you, Katrina Prater. Never trust any man named DL. True line be tripping, man. I don't know, man. The man, his brain is gone, son. His brain is gone. He's a race-baiting clown. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. It's like that's all he's got. Yeah, he did say that. And then he'd turn around and be the most racist guy in the room. I don't know, man. It's a crazy thing, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, guys, that's all I got, man. The beat goes on, fam. We'll be back here tomorrow. Yes, I think I am. I'm supposed to go pick up. We should be back tonight. Tomorrow. It's already tomorrow. But you got to go pick up our grandbaby down south. Look, guys, check in with me, find out what we're doing. I'll do my best to do a show tomorrow. We got to go on the road a little bit. Me and the missus. I got nothing but love for y'all. Thank y'all for being here like always. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. All right, Johnson? Don't do it. Yo, you know what it is, fam. DL was on Comedy View with Superman draws. Man, I'm gonna leave it alone, man. Hey, man, have a good evening, guys. Have a good morning. I got nothing but love for y'all. Remember, don't let nobody take your cornbread. Don't forget, check me out. Go become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack by going to jointimblack.com. $5 a month. Become a VIP. I mean, Joe Budden can have 30 million views on his Patreon. Can I get to 30,000? That's all I'm trying to do. I mean, he better than me, but He ain't 30 million times better. Right? Right? All right, y'all. All right, guys, you know what it is. You know what it is. As always in every show, where are my ladies? Where are my ladies? Oh, there they go. See y'all on the next one.